Hey y'all, it's Betsy, and today we have a fun video. We're going to be testing out the new Nabla side-by-side nude palette and some brushes and this little glitter palette. I purchased the Trend Mood box whenever this came out, and it retails for $44 for the Trend Mood box. Sold out rather quickly, but it was a good deal because the Nabla nude side-by-side palette, which I was looking at getting anyway, retails for $39. It looks like this. And then, but you also got the mascara, which is sitting over there. I'm not opening that up today. The Ruby Lights glitter palette, which looks like this. The packaging on this is so beautiful, which retails for $25. And I do have the Miami Lights, one of these. And then it also had a brush collection, which retail for $50. So we're gonna be testing out some new Nabla makeup. So if that interests you, stick around. So here is the side-by-side nude palette. So we're gonna start off by swatching this, and there are 16 shades. And I do feel like this is a good size palette. And I do like the Nabla formula. I used it because I have the Secret palette, so I've used that several times. But nothing really had spoke to me since then. And when I saw this, you know, there wasn't a whole lot of nude palettes. Now there are I was willing to try. So I was like, well, let's do this one, especially with it coming with the Trend Mood box that made it such a good deal, and I cannot say no to brushes. So we're gonna start off by swatching the first row. So we have Bonjour. See, that is a good peachy tone nude. Then we have Ray of Light, which is a champagne gold. Then we have Halftime, which is a good warm nude color. Magic Moment, which as you can see is like a rose tone gold. Okay, then we have Body and Soul, Paradiso, Beauty Mark, and Clan. So we have Body and Soul, which is like more of a peachy kind of shimmer, a little bit of pink to it. Paradiso, which is definitely more of like a coppery, bronzy kind of color. Then we have Beauty Mark and Clan. So Clan is definitely more of that. The Beauty Mark is more of like a cool tone nude, and Clan is a cool tone brown. Then we've got Burnt Sienna, Better Society, Cedarwood, and Tempura. So Burnt Sienna, which is, you know, an orangey toned neutral. Better Society, that is a beautiful shimmer, and that is a very wet feeling shimmer. You can see that is beautiful. Nabla does have some really good shimmers. Cedarwood, which is, it's still a shimmer, but it's not as impactful like as Better Society. And then we have Tempura. So as you can see, Cedarwood and Tempura would make a good neutral, very neutrally eyed look together, okay? Then we have Rarity. And I like that this palette is a mixture of cool tones and warms. Love Ritual, Cubism, and Untitled. So Rarity, Love Ritual, okay? Then we'll put the other two over here. Cubism and Untitled. Okay, so that's all 16 shades swatched out. It is a beautiful color combination, and as I said, it's a good cool and warm tone palette. Like, this is the kind of palette that if I'm wanting a nude palette to travel with, that I would grab and then maybe grab some of my liquid shadows, because it's inexpensive enough where if it broke, it wouldn't break my heart, but the formula is good and tried and true. You know what I'm saying? And then we've got the little glitter palette, and I do really like Nabla's formula. So we've got Ruby. Look at that. Okay, then we've got Capricorn. Oh, aren't those beautiful? And as you can see, not much glitter stays. Now, as you can see, Ruby's got a lot of base color to it, so it will stay, you know, looking good on your eye. Then we've got Virgo. Trying to look and make sure. Virgo's beautiful. And then we've got Whisper. And all of these were made in Italy. Aren't they beautiful? I don't know which one I'm gonna use on my eyes today, but I wanted to do more of like a cool tone nude look. Like, I have a lot of new colorful palettes. I have a lot of new makeup coming in. It is that time of year. And I love getting new makeup. Nadia loves using my new makeup. My sister-in-law loves using my new makeup. So my new makeup gets used. You may not see it all the time on camera, but trust me, we use some makeup. Okay, so I'm gonna use, this is my e.l.f. eye tapes. I had cut these down earlier, so we're gonna use these today. Okay, and I have primed my eyes with my Pretty Vulgar eye primer. I didn't feel like I needed to do something that was full on pigmented, because I am going to be doing more of a nude look, and I figured that this would be kind of fun with it. So we're gonna try to use some of the Nabla brushes. They're pretty good quality. I have used them a couple of times. They're not my favorite brush formula by any means. So we're gonna go into the shade Bonjour right here. And we're gonna use that to kind of set that eye primer down. Just something pretty and neutral. But I wanted like a really kind of glam, but neutrally glam kind of look. You know what I mean? Like, I love doing color. And I could do color every day. But a lot of the new eyeshadow palettes I have a lot of green in them, and I've done a lot of green. Because green is probably one of my favorite eyeshadow colors. And I was like, well, let's take a break and we'll do some nude, because I think that for my pretty much vlogmas will be a lot of new eyeshadow palettes, because one, that is like my favorite thing in the world, and two, you know, I've got a lot to test out and I want to post every day. So, but we're also going to be doing some collection videos and stuff like that as well. So next I'm going to go into Beauty Mark, which is this cool tone nude on the same brush. And I want to keep this more of like a cool tone grungy look, I'm thinking. It's really what I'm interested in doing today. But I don't want it cool toned as in the grays. I did grays a couple of times because I just got in the Melt waiting room and what's the other one? Recently Deceased palettes. Okay, so as you can see, that adds a little bit of cool toneness, but doesn't take over my eye. Now, as you can see, there is quite a bit of kick up in the pan, but that does not bother me in the least little bit. Now, I know some people it might, but for me, not really. Okay, liking how that is looking. So next I'm gonna go, this is the Nabla N304, which is more of like one of the fluffy kind of packer brushes. Not really packer, but kind of. So I'm gonna go into the shade Clam, because I really wanna deepen up the outer crease. Isn't that pretty? And that brush is a great size to go into my crease. Now, one thing I will say about these brushes, they feel really cheap. As far as like the handle weight and all that, they're probably some of the lightest brushes I own. They feel even lighter than like the Wet n Wild brushes. I don't know if that's something that will turn you off or not, but I mean, they are performing the way that I want them to. But for me, I have, some days my eyes are more hooded than others. I don't know how everybody else's eyes are, but man, mine are like that. So as you can see, I'm just deepening up the crease and really keeping it in the crease, but keeping it towards the outside because I do want a very blended. So I'm back and I'm gonna go ahead and finish blending this out. I wanted to stop because there was a train coming and my microphone picks it up terribly. So far that is what this looks like. I mean, as you can see, the shadows are performing really, really well. I mean, they're blending great. So I think I'm gonna take the shade Untitled, which is the black, and just apply ever so slightly that to the very outer edge. Y'all know, I'm wearing a Nirvana shirt, so today is all about the grunge. But being all about the grunge doesn't mean you always have to, you know, you can still make grunge pretty, if that makes sense. So I have a lot of fun makeup coming up, so you'll have to let me know what palettes and stuff you're excited to see because I purchased a lot on Black Friday. We love Black Friday. So I'm using, this is a Cleona brush and it's just like a flat kind of packer brush, not really a packer. This is what I use every time, this type of shape, to apply glitters, and I just took some Too Faced glitter glue and applied it on my eyelid. If I sound a little hoarse, it is because we have the heat on at home, not very high, but it dries out my throat every single time we have the heat on. This is why I live in the South. So I want to go into the shade Virgo. Picks up nicely on the brush. Now, remember, glitters are not technically considered eye safe. So if you use a glitter, remember, you're using it at your own peril, I guess. Not really peril, but on your own accord, that, you know, it can make you go blind. Look how pretty that looks though. But I am the girl that cannot resist pressed glitters, like at all. And this just makes for a glam look. I don't care who you are. Glitter is glam. It's like if I'm ever gonna make merch, I would probably do something like Easily Distracted by Shiny Things, because I am. That's what gets me every single time. Packaging and the shiny stuff. I mean, but you know, I realize I own more makeup than any one person can use in a lifetime, but you know, I love playing with makeup. Okay, so I like how that looks. I'm just going back with the 304, so yeah, 304 over the edges. Make sure everything is nice and blended, because to me, I think that is one of the most important parts of an eye look, is your blend, you know. But I don't mind a messy blend. I want a grungy blend. Okay, so, ooh, that looks really pretty. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go off camera, do the rest of my face, and then we'll come back and do the lower lash line and talk about my thoughts on these palettes. Okie dokie. So I'm back and I have the rest of my face on. I used my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in Deep Bronze, which looks like this. I used my Booby Blush by Charlotte Tilbury in the shade Climax. And then I used my Hourglass Ambient Euphoric Strobe Light for highlight. Which looks like this. And then for foundation, I'll just go ahead and tell you, I used the Huda Beauty stick. Doesn't my skin look good? And then for lips is the So Rare Lip Liner by Juvia's Place, and then the Gucci lipstick in Susan Nude. So I wanted that really cool tone. And then I lined my eyes with the ColourPop BFF Gel Cream Eyeliner in Swerve. Because again, I wanted that super dark, smoky look. So, okay, I'm gonna grab, this is the 304 again. But isn't this eye look really pretty? It looks so glam. Like, I really like this eye look. So I'm gonna go into the shade Clan. And we're gonna start smoking that out underneath my eye. Now I go for always a super smoky under eye. For me, I like how it looks and it helps hide my wrinkles a little bit, or at least I feel like it does. See what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So I'm gonna grab, this is the Nabla in 304 again. And we're just gonna go and blend, blend, blend. Now, I have glitter all over my face, and I'll tell you why. Because when I wiped off the swatches, I went to wipe a little bit of glitter that I had gotten here, and I grabbed the wrong part of the makeup wipe and ended up with glitter everywhere. But I mean, I craft for a living, so that is not super unusual for me. Okay, so look, I like how nice and blended that looks. So now we're gonna go into Ray of Light, which is that creamy shade at the beginning. And this is the Nabla in 303 brush. See how much that just adds to the inner corner? Inner corner highlighting is one of the easiest ways to make your eyes look better, or at least in my opinion. And it doesn't have to be like a super blinding highlight, and I'm just gonna take a little bit of that on my brow bone, and then take that. Make sure everything's nice and blended. This is the Wander Beauty Mile High Club. This is one of the mascaras I'm working on right now, and I really like it for the lower lash line. I like the size of the brush. So that is pretty much it. Okie dokie. So let's talk about Nabla. Okie dokie. The brushes. Okay, so the brushes are really good quality. They do the job that they're supposed to. I mean, as you can see, I have no issues with blending. So again, the brushes do what they are supposed to. And for $50, you get 6-7 brushes. So, okay, so to me, that's not terrible. The quality of the handles and stuff feels really cheap. Honestly, they are super lightweight, but again, they perform well, and you know, the amount of brushes you're getting, that's not a bad price. So the brushes, if you're looking for brushes, they do go on sale quite a bit, like Ulta and stuff like that. I would see if you can get them on sale. I wouldn't pay full price for them, but I think the quality is nice. Now, are they my favorite brushes? Not by a long shot. The Nabla Side by Side palette. Now, it's a nude palette. Where I think that this stands out, and what I like about this palette, is that it does have a good mixture of cool tones and warm tones. So this would be a good nude palette for like everyday use. The shadows perform well, they're easily pigmented. but they blend really well. So it's not too much. Like, I think anybody could get some good use out of this. But to me, the standout of the collection is the Ruby Lights palette. So these glitters I think are absolutely stunning. I love Nabla's formula. Whatever they use as their binder base, I think works really well. And to me, I like to have glitters separated like this so I can just take and grab and add to a look. But that's just my opinion. So, I mean, but $25 for this is kind of high. Again, I do like the formulation of it, but $25 for 4 glitters is quite a bit, because I also really like the formulation for ColourPop and they're super inexpensive. So with that being said, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right down below. And if you hit the notification bell icon, that will notify you when I post new videos, which right now is every single day through Christmas Day. I'm trying to do Vlogmas. I don't want to call it Vlogmas, but I don't know what else to call it. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll be Palette-Miss. Who knows? Maybe next year that's what we'll do. Palettes every single day. But I guess that's it. So we'll see y'all later. Bye.